in their summer travels. So I hope that you've been able to get out and enjoy the weather and enjoy this last month before we send those kids back to in-person, remote learning, whatever it might be. We heard some stories from Tisha this morning in regards to her son getting his college apartment set up. So I hope that all is well in your houses. This Friday morning networking, we have decided to try something a little new. And it's new to us. People do this all the time. And so if you read your chamber announcements this week about networking, the task on this morning's call is going to be to practice your pitch for your business. And we're going to start out this morning's meeting with Genevieve Ford. And we're going to give her a little, extra couple minutes for her pitch as our host today. And she's going to tell us all about the Lions Club, which she is a fine representative for. And then after that, we're going to give you an opportunity to practice your pitch for 2 minutes to this group. So if you want to be thinking about that also, then we'll go on to introduce any new people we have today, get any announcements or shout outs, maybe do 1 or 2 little breakout groups, and then we'll be on, to our day into this, 100-degree weekend that we have coming up for us. So let's go ahead and start, and I'm going to turn it over to you, Genevieve. Good morning. And why don't you just take your, your best 3 or 4 minutes. We're going to give you a double pitch and tell us all about what's happening with the Lions Club.
Well, great. I'm glad to see everybody attending this morning. I want to tell everybody that the Worldwide Lions Club organization works to provide services in areas of vision, hearing, diabetes, hunger, the environment, and childhood cancer. Our Lake Oswego Lions Club supports our community by providing eyeglasses and hearing aids through the Oregon Lions Sight and Hearing Foundation. So we provide support to local food banks. We clean a section of Highway 13 going towards West Lynn, and we work with the youth of our community, the National League of Young Men. Each month we have a charity of the month. And since the pandemic, we've been making COVID-19 masks. We have provided over 2,700 masks to TriMet, 2 retirement centers, and some smaller groups. We are currently recycling metal and glass drink containers, and the proceeds are given to the Raphael House, which is a Portland's women's shelter. Now, some of our other activities, which our chamber may or may not know, is we do the flags for first graders. We collect holiday coats and toys for kids, and that distribution is made through the Hope Community Church. We also provide a holiday dinner for a needy family. Each year we have a peace poster contest in 3 of the LO schools, and this is for students who are between first grade and 6th grade. And we have an opportunity to have them recognized locally, nationally, and statewide. We also support activities for the Oral Hull Foundation, and this is located out in Sandy, and they are the foundation that teaches all ages to work with learning to walk with their white canes, how to raft on the river even with their white canes, and get about the city on TriMet. We support programs with guide dogs for the blind. And so, of course, we're looking for new funding during this pandemic area. So our funding comes from currently from the Pot of Gold raffles, which we always have on St. Patty's Day. And we have a spring plant sale. And then, of course, our big 4th of July pancake breakfast. We couldn't have that this year, but we do have, if you go to the Lions website, you'll see the virtual pancake breakfast that the National League of Young Men helped us put together. The car and boat show, usually held in August of each year, we'll be hosting a miniature car and boat event. So we'll let you know when that virtual is coming up. So watch for the word on that. We will be having a big yard sale in connection with the Mount Hood Lions Club on August 29. That's from 10 to 3. So if people want to go up to the mountains to cool off, you can just go directly up Highway 26E to Wellesley Road, and you'll see all the tables out there. So the proceeds will go to Lions, and so we'll be using those for art scholarships and our other charities. Thus, you know, the how, the why, and when we'll be serving our community.
Wow, Genevieve, that was fantastic. That was great. Well done.
Well, I think that maybe those who didn't know what we were doing realize that we're still working from September to May and then having fun in the summer too.
Sounds like it, and sounds like there is lots of opportunity to help out the Lions. So we really appreciate that. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we look forward to having you reach out to us and let us know what's happening with the Lions as we go forward during the winter. So thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome. We serve, so let us know if we can help you.
Great. Fantastic. Liz?
I want to ask Genevieve, who is eligible to be a member of the Lions Club?
Any member can become a Lions Club member. In fact, we have a group called the Leos, which are usually those students who are in high school, usually 11th and 12th graders, or those that go on to college and form their own Leos group there. And once they're out of college, then they become a Lion. But there's really not an age group per se, because we have people everywhere from, I guess you might say, what, 18 to 80.
Great. Well, we all have heard Genevieve's pitch and able to hear her tell us about the organization that she represents. Would anybody like to practice their pitch on this group? If so, raise your hand and I'll call on you. And if nobody does, I might just pick on somebody. Ramy, look at that. I love it. Ramy, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Okay. So I'm just going to introduce my clinic. We just opened a chiropractic clinic on 2nd Street. We provide chiropractic, acupuncture starting next month, and fitness and nutrition. We have an amazing fitness and nutrition coach. Her name is Cassie. She's been doing that for many years, and she had tremendous results with a lot of people. My job, I see it in the community, is to educate people about chiropractic and to treat everybody back to health and away from injury. So there's a lot of misconception out there about chiropractic. That's you go to the chiropractor when your back hurts, when your neck hurts, and then you're gonna adjust it and then you go on with your life. Actually, the problem is silent for a long time before it gets symptomatic. So when we have like any traumatic injury, car accidents, or maybe we're tired, or we have like a one bad day, so then we start having like back injuries or back pain or neck pain. But the problem is being there for a long time. So we have a lot of bad habits that causing those injuries, from like sitting or sleeping or trauma. Our patients, our goal to have our patients always educated, always involved in their treatment, and we always educate their attorneys, if they have attorneys for the motor vehicle accidents, their primary care physicians. So hopefully we can make a difference in the Lake Oswego community and change the perspective about chiropractic and alternative healthcare. So yeah, that's my goal.
That's great.
Thanks.
Anybody have any questions for Ramy? All
And
right.
Ramey did that in 90 seconds. Great job.
Oh, thank you. I mean, yeah, I was not prepared. I just doing this, so hopefully
That's very good.
Thanks.
Christopher?
Sure. I have a question for Ramey. I know there's a lot of different chiropractic modalities. What do you use as a chiropractor?
So we use scraping, cupping, ultrasound. I heavily focus on soft tissue because if the muscles are relaxed, the adjustments goes much better. Plus, working on a patient, working on the soft tissue before I adjust them gives me tremendous idea about where the restrictions are and what their body needs. So not every person. I mean, I've been to a lot of chiropractors. I have friends who adjusted me and have mentors who adjust me, and most of the time it's always the same kind of adjustments. You go bam, 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 and that's it. So that's why I like to do like at least 10 minutes of soft tissue work to know the body, know where the restrictions are, what they need, and formulate my adjustments each and every time. Thanks.
Fantastic. Well, that was a great example. Thank you for volunteering to go first.
Absolutely.
Do we have our next volunteer? This is just like going around the room and saying your name and what business you're with, except that you get, 60 to 90 to 1 to 2 minutes. Tisha, do you want to give it a shot?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Julia. Happy Friday. If you don't know who I am, I'm Tisha Simons. I'm with Legal Locator Service, and we provide employment screening, tenant checks, and drug testing. We've been in business for over 24 years. I'm the founder and president of Legal Locator Service. If you need any employment background checks, like I said, we've been doing it for 24 years. Our system is very quick. It's you just order, review, and decide, and you're finished. So give me a call if you need a background check. Thank you.
That was perfect. Thank you. That was a speed record, right, Liz?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute. Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Tisha? All right. And go ahead and raise your hand to volunteer next. All right, Stephanie, you're up.
Hi, for those who don't know me, I am Stephanie. I represent Neurotherapeutic Pediatric Therapies. Short name, we say Neuro. We do children's therapy services, including occupational, physical, feeding, speech, and we also have a mental health program not limited to just pediatrics. We have 6 clinics in the Portland metro region, and I have been working morning, noon, and night on our upcoming major fundraiser with a goal of $50,000. So I'm excited for that, and that's why we get little bags under the eyes, very little sleep. Great to see y'all. Also proud to be an ambassador of Lake Oswego Chamber.
Thank you, Stephanie. Well done. Any questions for Stephanie? All right, I will take my next volunteer. All right, I'm sensing maybe that the Dickersons might want to go next. So Keith, why don't you give us your best 90 seconds?
Keith and Peggy Dickerson at Hope Community Church of Lake Oswego, where we promote knowing God better, living in the Spirit, and joining in God's work in our community and our world. And right now we're featuring Peggy's famous jams that she's making that are connected to all the historical locations that we've been doing research on during the pandemic for our hobby. There you go.
And this is our 18th year. We're celebrating this month of being at Hope Community Church. Yes.
Yep. Being Oregonians for 18 years this month.
Great.
All right.
And thank you, Genevieve and the Lions Club, for all of the ways that you work with us. We really appreciate that.
Yay, team.
Would you go ahead and just tell a couple of things you do in the community, which include the Hope Sparrow services, but there are a couple of other activities you do for the Lake Oswego community.
Oh my. Well, of course, pastoring the church, we do that.
Give your food bank.
Hop. Is there a hop someplace?
Hop at the Hunt. Yes, right. Hop at the Hunt. And the Lions Club have helped us stuff those eggs, as well as the chamber. and other organizations. And then we're both Leadership LO graduates, and we have, and our son is too. So we have 3 in our family who've graduated from LO Leadership, and we put a plug in for the new class and new students for that, and we babysit Ed Popkin for the community tenders for Ed Popkin.
So Ed, you assist Hope Community Church on a huge event every year. What is that?
Well, we do a coat drive every fall, and we take care of tons of people for that. We do food at Thanksgiving and food at Christmas time to families. We give, what was it, Peggy, 80 or 90 families we took care of Thanksgiving last year.
Uh-huh.
So we're all year round, and we have things to do, plus just on an everyday basis. So
Right.
Fantastic.
that's the rest of my team.
Well, that's great. All right, so we last heard pitches from Keith and Peggy, and then one from Ed. Is there anybody that would like to go next? 90 seconds.
I'll go real quick.
Fantastic. Over to you, Mark.
You're doing well. It's tough. I'm in my car right now, so I just wanted to say hi and hope everybody's doing well.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for joining while you're on the move, and have a great weekend. And
you guys all do the same.
Fantastic. Thank you. Nicole, how about we listen to you give your best 1 to 2 minutes?
All right, sure. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time. So I'm from the Arts Council of Lake Oswego, and we work to ensure that the arts are an integral part of life in our community, both now and into the future. And so we do that in a variety of different ways. We place and preserve all the public art that you see around town, provide access to art exhibitions for residents and visitors, and advance lifelong learning about the arts through educational programs and docent tours. That's what we do.
Fantastic. Do you have any events coming up?
We do. We have a great exhibition, which is open right now, opened last week virtually. It's plein air, and it's always a popular one throughout the community. It has some amazing pieces that were produced this year. We kind of did a pandemic-focused plein air. So basically you could paint from March until July, and it could be any sort of landscape. It could be out your front door, it could be someplace special. And so we really have some beautiful pieces. So we're open at the gallery. We have a limit of 7 people in the gallery, but we're at 41B Street, and we're open Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5.
Fantastic. And 41B is across the street from Rite Aid, right?
It is. We are right by the locksmith and where Wishbone used to be.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Nicole. Thank you very much. All right, last call. Would anybody else like to go? All right, Sarah, you're up.
Sorry, I've been multitasking this morning because I have my twins with me, and it's been like a barf fest over here, so that's been fun. I run a business with my dad called Jag Forms. We sell printing and promotional products. Most of you probably know about that. We can do anything from your marketing materials, brochures, letterhead, envelopes, mugs, pens, etc. We can put your logos on it. Business has been very interesting since back in March when we couldn't get hand sanitizer. Like, it was selling out faster than we could get our orders in for customers. And all of our suppliers have since ramped up production immensely. So we have hand sanitizer again, but the industry has also been expanding to include like custom face masks and other PPE. signage for social distancing, if you have, you know, retail space or a, you know, an office that people come to visit, and then just different tools for people to be able to go about their work and home lives and kind of just simplify being safe and just little tools to make that easier. So that's kind of just an update from our world briefly, and how the offerings from our industry have changed in light of current events.
It's awesome, and I think it's awesome that you start your pitch with the Barf Fest note. That's unique, and it catches people, and then they're listening for the entire thing. So I think you should keep that for a while.
I'm just saying, this morning's barf was very impressive. It was like something out of a horror movie.
We definitely are in awe of you and of awe of you and seeing you before and then now with the twins the last few months. We're really proud of you and what this year has brought for your family as far as blessings. So thanks for being with us this week and last week, Sarah. We really love that. So
yeah, thank you. And thanks for putting up with my like multitasking. They always want to eat right around the time networking starts. So I sort of just like get set up ahead of time and pop those bottles in and wing it.
Great.
I have a question for Sarah. What's the business name again, please?
It's Jag Forms, JAGFORMS. I'll type it out here for a second in the chat so you can get it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. And unless somebody raises their hand at record speed, oh, look at Laurel, so fast. Laurel, we'll send it over to you.
Here we go. Here we go. Yes, I drove to work, so wasn't on. Here's your local banker. We are Northwest Bank, West Coast Bank, and we've been really busy this spring with everybody reviewing their financials, their homes, their loans, and just updating everything, getting everything to work really well. They work and they don't have time to necessarily take care of their financials, but this spring they really have, and it's been fun and busy, and we just keep on plugging away. So come visit us at Banner Bank. The Lake Oswego branch in Lake Grove is opened, and our drive-in services are exceptional. So, because the lobbies are closed. Yeah, but you know, phone and emails work really, really well to communicate with everybody, and it's worked really well this spring. So I hope everybody has a cool weekend, but come and see us if you have any questions. Thank you. Laurel at Banner Bank.
Thank you, Laurel. That was great. All right. Do we have any last takers? All right, Rachel. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. It's good to see everyone. So for those of you that don't know me, I am Rachel Gustafson. I'm with Financial Investment Team. And so I'm a certified financial planner. I specialize really in working with women and couples. We build customized plans that help you accomplish your dreams. But another thing that we're really passionate about is financial education. And so we offer monthly webinars on different topics. For example, this month we're hosting retirement planning during COVID-19. And next month I'm doing a series on education planning. So what do you need to do to prepare for filling out the FAFSA, and also education funding. So I'll get those events out, but we're really financial education and financial planning. So it's good to see everyone. And I've also got a 10-month-old in the background that you're hearing right now. I'm like Sarah juggling a baby at home. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you. All right. I'm looking for that last hand raise. Who wants to take it? Christopher Boyer. Let's end this with you. If you want to go off mute.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. It's nice to see so many faces and members of our business community. My wife, Christine, and I have been teaching both families and individuals to be strong and secure for the last 30 years. Through the practice of martial arts. We've been in downtown Lake Oswego for quite some time, and after over 20 years there, we moved out to, or Lake Grove, so we've been over here for a couple of years now. And in this particular period of time where everybody is inundated by changes that are outside of our influence, I think it's more important than ever to find the influence that we do have as individuals. And that's something that the practice of martial arts can give people, that self-determinism and that confidence in their ability to make changes within their personal sphere. So that's the main thing that we're working on at this juncture. And with this time of COVID, we've dropped everything down to what is essentially weekly private or semi-private lessons. So we only have a maximum of 4 people at one time in our big studio with a bay door and an 84-inch ceiling fan. So it's a lot like practicing outside in terms of airflow. And I would just say that it's a pleasure to serve the community. And there's 2 things that I think really help guide people's actions. And that is both courage and consideration. I think that we all need to be courageous enough to stand up for the things that we think matter. And I think it's consideration that leads us to holding other people in mind as well. And those are the 2 things that we focus on in our martial arts practice. Courage and consideration are what we consider to develop in equal measure when you walk through the door at the Academy of Modern Martial Arts.
Wow, that was near perfect. I think we should end it with that. Thank you very much, Christopher. We look forward to seeing you and Christine soon at the school. So thank you for that. Liz, at this time, why don't I prompt you for any chamber announcements that you'd like to share with the team?
I've got 2 big ones today. One is that the city is looking for your picture with your mask on it saying, I wear a mask because, and I will send everyone a link in the newsletter. You are the community's business leaders. So if you would send your photo holding up your sign to me or to Jamie Inglis, it'll have a listing in the newsletter. You're the community business leaders, so please do the mask campaign on this. And secondly, we are taking applications for Leadership Lake Oswego. It is a fabulous program. It is streamlined a little bit this year. The cost has come down. We're doing it virtually. It will start on September 17th with the fabulous City Council and Mayor. Oh, look at that. If everyone's looking at Christopher Boyer in the background, he has a masked person. Outstanding. So Leadership Lake Oswego, please sign up for that. It's on the website at Lake Oswego Chamber under Leadership Lake Oswego, and look forward to hearing from any of you. If you have announcements for the newsletter, send them to me. Looking forward to it. That's it, Julia.
Fantastic. I just want to say that if you were ever before considering participating in Leadership Lake Oswego, and maybe you didn't have the time or you did not have the financial resources to do so, this might be the year to take advantage. The program is only about 3 hours, 1 morning a month this year. That's dedicated time sitting in front of your computer. Then the other activities you can do on your own time with the rest of the group, arrange that. And then also the price of the program this year is about half of what it typically is. So if there was a barrier before, either financially or the time commitment, this might be the year that you check it out and decide that you can take advantage of being part of the program. So I just encourage you to consider that as we get ready to start this year's program next month. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Liz or I or anybody, on the chamber board. Christopher is the shepherd of that program, and he would love to sit and talk to you for no less than 20 or 30 hours. So I guarantee you, in the end, he'll get your time commitment. He knows all about the program and loves to share about that. So with that said, I do not see that we have any green dots on the call today. We have a couple of
Excuse me.
people that have just been here twice.
I think this is Daniel's second time. If you'd like to introduce Daniel.
Fantastic, Daniel. If you want to go off mute, let's have you introduce yourself again to the group.
Okay, hi. So I'm Daniel Nishina. I'm relatively new to the area. I guess I can say my day job is with Globe Life Family Heritage. It's a supplemental insurance company. We deal with small businesses and individuals. And yeah, I'm very happy to consult about that and remind people what supplemental insurance is if you need. It's not an everyday topic. My family, I lived in Japan for a number of years, 9 years. And so we pursued, we are sort of in the midst of pursuing an endeavor, I guess, to start an Aikido dojo. But also, you know, do anything Japan related. My wife does business consulting and leather work, indigo. And I've done interpreting and translation myself. And yeah, just hoping to get connected with along those two things, the insurance and anything Japan related.
Fantastic. Well, it's nice to see you again. Thanks for joining us. And feel free, as always, Daniel, if you need anything, to